This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Just thoughts on getting to get back home and get a win like this in front of your home crowd.
And to play hard. Really proud because you don't have to in this thing. I've seen teams not in our situation and be off as long as we were off. Kind of had some disjointed practices because of some people getting banged up a little bit, and then to come out and get off to a great start, handle their run and then finish. I think they're obviously a really, really good team, but great to have our fans out. That's a good crowd for a rainy Thursday night for an NIT game. So I'm looking forward to another one on Monday.
Then when you just talk about the defensive intensity the team brought, I know Michaela had the assignment on Kiana Walker and didn't foul her a lot.
Yeah. Took it real seriously, kept her off the foul. She only shot 4 free throws. It's a kid who shot, I think, 216 coming in. She's really hard to guard. It's a kid that we've known for a long time. We had her at elite camp up here, and we had Mac already coming in, and I just wished her the best, and she's had a great career. She's played herself into an SEC caliber guard. If there was another year, if there was another COVID year, that kid, she is an SEC caliber guard. They do a great job of putting her in situations where she's hard to guard. Fortunately, we got her in a little bit of foul trouble, which I thought changed the complexion of the game. But, I thought Sam's intensity right off the bat was big for us. You don't ever know how you're going to come off of a layoff and how you're going to deal coming out of that living room at my house when we don't get in. Practice can look like, but you don't know until you play. So really happy that our group took the lumps that we took in the SEC this year, but learned from them and played a good game against a good team.
Of course, we saw Saylor come back in, but just any update on if she's fine?
Yeah, she said just kind of scared her. It looked awkward. Y'all, every time you see a fall like that, you do kind of hold your breath. It just gave out on her, but she, seeing her come back out was, I think, a relief to all of our team. That's a kid who everybody really respects how hard she works and what she does for our team to get 11 defensive rebounds, which coincidentally is how many I had in my career at Greenwood in 3 years. So she was tremendous again defensively. She was in help a whole bunch, and then moved the ball offensively. She's going to be mad she didn't make more shots, but that's okay.
And then last thing I'll ask is, last night Sam Purcell said that there was a thread of the SEC coaches encouraging them to, go out and get a win. And then tonight the SEC goes 3-0 and WNIT. Just we talk about kind of the camaraderie among coaches in the league, and
it's better than you would think watching us coach against each other. We really do pull for each other when we're not playing head to head. It is when you go through battle and you compete like we do for recruits and in games, when you don't have to play each other, it's like, okay, let's pull for them. And it's nice. That was a nice thing to get going. We were all pulling for Sam. I thought they played great. Thought it was a good look for our league. It was frustrating for us to watch and then watch the Purdue game tonight as well, the St. John's game. But we will learn from that. That sting will carry us all the way through the summer. But I'm glad Sam said that. Obviously for him to get his first of many tournament wins was a great way to start it off. And does the rest of the tournament start tomorrow? I bet there'll be a few more wins coming.
Coach, your team held them to just 3 points in that first quarter there. Sam and Chrissy said that you kind of said in the huddle there that if we do that for the rest of the quarters, we win. So yeah. you said it kind of jokingly, but obviously that was a really good start for you guys. Did you feel good about it? And how did it help you guys moving forward into the rest of the game?
Just, I didn't want them too tight. I got a sense in practice there was a little bit of tightness. And I just wanted to make sure we were really loose. So trying to make jokes. That was probably my funniest one. I tried a few others that didn't land quite as well as I'd have hoped. But it's good to be back home and have our men's practice team. We've got a really good group of guys that come in and mesh with a few of our players. Our red shirt, Marin Archer, does a great job. And they run an offense that we kind of have run in the past. So we were able to simulate it a lot. It's hard to simulate Kiana Walker, but they did a good job doing it. So it was good to be back home. Our crowd was very vocal, got us going. But that start, I think, gave everybody kind of a little bit of an exhale moment. Okay, we're playing hard. You worry about that. I know I've said it 4 or 5 times, but you really, really do. And that start, you knew a run was coming, and because you got off to such a great start, that run now keeps it at 9 or 7. Did it ever get below 7 or 8? Maybe it got to 8 or 7 in the second half. I'll have to go back and look, but I felt like because of our start, we were able to withstand their runs a little bit.
And obviously that first win, it's always nice to get that out of the way. How good does it feel right now to know, hey, you're moving on, you're getting to go to the second round, and you get to host it as well?
I think it vindicates our kids having to go through what they do in the SEC. It's a hard league to play in. I still go back and look at that 3-game week when we had Vanderbilt on a Monday, and then we had to go to LSU and to South Carolina. And then from that point on, it's just so hard. And I'm glad that our kids learned from it. There was a lesson learned in there. We had a board called Lessons Learned. If we hadn't have played like we did tonight, and I'm not even saying win, but play hard and be engaged, it would have not been a lesson learned, but I think we learned our lesson.
Now that this tournament is like a tour of
Gary Blair
coaching America.
I know.
Have you talked to him about any of this stuff?
I did a little bit in between him making a 6-foot downhill birdie putt on 8. He could have cared less what I was talking about. He was more interested in describing his golf match. But obviously 2 places that you can't really talk about without. Every time I see Louisiana Tech, I picture the Gary Blair 70s mustache, 80s mustache, and then of course Stephen F. Austin, the great teams he had there. So that's what you get in the NIT. I think that's the one cool thing about the WNIT not being seeded. It creates these regional matchups. People can get to it. La Tech had a great crowd tonight. They were able to get here. I'm sure Stephen F. will come in with even a bigger crowd. And Coach Blair has touched lots of programs, even ones he didn't coach yet. So fun to talk about. He was going to see a concert or something, I think, so he wasn't going to be able to watch. Is the Houston Rodeo going on, maybe? You'd have to check. I think he was going to the Houston Rodeo. He was pretty proud about having a date, as he should be at his age.
Coach, looking ahead to Stephen F. Austin, just have you watched any of them this year? Just what do you know about them?
Ironically, we watch them a lot. My wife, JC, coached there back in the day, so she recruited a lot of those kids. So anytime there's not a game on ESPN Plus, we watch them quite a bit. I got a lot of respect for how Mark runs his program. They're hard to defend. They play multiple defenses. It'll be really hard for us to have them completely scouted, but we've watched a bunch of them. Jordan Harrison will be a lot like Kiana Walker's kid we had at camp a number of times. She's from Classen over there just outside Oklahoma City. I think she was the freshman of the year in their league. And if I'm not mistaken, she had 28 tonight. So she'll be a lot like Walker. They've got 2 post players that they're veterans. It was a team that, kind of got a bad draw in their tournament, but it's an NCAA caliber team year in and year out.
And then Chrissy talked about the fact that how she's been part of teams that are not even playing this time of year. Do you feel like after the initial disappointment, there's maybe a sense of gratitude amongst the team, maybe specifically Chrissy, who's experienced not being able to play in March?
Yeah, I'll tell you when it hit him, I think, was first of all, it stung at the house. We went back and forth. We got a random email in the middle of the day that kind of got my hopes up a little bit, which I think they kind of got their hopes up a little bit, but it immediately turned to, we're playing in March. And then when I gave them the stat that there's only 3 teams in the SEC that have been in the postseason 5 straight years. And they looked around and they were like, who is it? And I said, well, 2 of them, right? They said, yeah, Tennessee and South Carolina. Who's the other one? I said, it's y'all. And in this league, to be able to say that, I think it resonated with them, that postseason for Arkansas women's basketball is big. And I think they wanted to go and make sure that we didn't just get in it. We haven't won one in March in a while. So this group will always be able to say that they've won one, and we'll try to win several more.
BetOnline remains your #1 source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet Online, where the game starts.